and good welcome to the Mind Body and Soul podcast, where I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And listen, everyone, I am excited here because I have a roundup of my SILG buddy sisters, Dr. Jennifer Jones Bryant and the rest of the SILG crew are here to join in talking about this new and upcoming amazing book that you're going to want to get. If you're a motivator, if you're someone who likes encouraging someone, this will be the book for you. So I will introduce Dr. Jennifer Jones Bryant. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michelle Bolden Hammond. It's so great to be here today on your show.
Thank you. And Dr. Teresa, how are you?
Well, great morning. I'm doing very good, great by choice, and I'm so pleased to be here this morning as well.
Thank you, thank you. And the Honorable Savannah Winston, how are you?
Great morning, everyone, and just so happy to be here.
And Mary Carey, how are you today?
I am awesome and excited about this topic. It's one of the topics that's near and dear to my heart. So thank you.
Thank you. And of course, I have a portion of the book as well, but it's not about me today. It's about all of us today. So Dr. Jennifer, I'm going to start with you. What inspired you to spearhead this book, and what do you believe the message is going to be assisting by elevating others?
Oh, wow. When I reflect upon my journey, my leadership journey, I think about the lessons learned from failures of my own. I think about the success stories. I think about leaders who were in my life over my 37-year career journey. And there were lots of lessons to be learned. But then I also thought about, as I, have embarked on the second retirement, right? And I started thinking even more so like, hey, and you all may have heard me say this before, that your big why has to be bigger than your ego. And Martin Luther King said that life's most urgent and persistent question is, what are you doing for others? So it's about my why in serving as a beacon of light to inspire, to motivate, to empower, to enable, and to be that light to help others get to that next level. Like you said, Dr. Michelle, it's not about me. It's what can I do to help the current generation, future generation, to get to that next, and especially women of color, because there are levels and layers of barriers that are there. And a lot of the authors, they are first time in whatever role that they are in, or have been, because it's sad and it kind of hurts in a way that during my 37-year career, a lot of times I was the only in the first, and it still was present when I left corporate America in October. That's sad to me. So my thing is, hey, you've heard the saying, lift while you climb, bring other people with you. So this is what this book is about. While we may not be able to see people in person, this book will serve as a force multiplier to elevate.
Great question. Good. Good. And I'm going to move to the next of the panelists with that question. What inspired you, Dr. Teresa, to become a part of this? Because we know that you exemplify, you always lifting and encouraging others, especially when it comes around to the realm of peace. We know that's your brand. We know that too, but that's a good portion of a leader. But elevating others and motivating others to be the best that they can be.
So leadership is part of my area of expertise. I've been in leadership, I would say 47 years, including the military and my service as an educator. But actually working with Dr. Jennifer again, I was on the first 3 books. This was a yes for me, because this is a whole nother level. I mean, we talked about a lot of things in the first 2 books, but this book is how do you motivate others? That's going to help people build from within their organization. So this was definitely a yes for me.
Same question for you, Honorable Savannah Winston. Same question for you.
Well, for me, I am fully living this journey of elevating. Like Dr. Bryant said, reflecting back in my journey, I've always been the one to accomplish this leadership accomplishment first. We're always, as Black women, finding ourselves maybe being the one and only in the room, or again, accomplishing that milestone first. So absolutely, when this opportunity came about, I said, oh, I have to be a part of this journey as I'm living it. My leadership journey, for me, I had to embrace it. That's one of my first key things is, as women leaders, we have to embrace it. So absolutely, I wanted to be a part of this motivational project.
Same question for you, Mary. Same question for you.
I think everybody touched on the major reasons why I joined this anthology, but I'd like to say, Dr. Jennifer, we know each other. We've had experiences in the same work environments, and I love this topic. And one real important aspect for me was, a lot of times in my life, people spoke negative words to me, but I always felt within, I could do it. I would sit back and say, but I had people that inspired me and motivated me. So I believe it's my time to give back. And I believe I've done a good job at that throughout my career.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, as for me, I'm always about lifting and encouraging others. Even when I write songs, things, whatever, however it is, it's always about motivating others. Because again, it's not about us personally. It's about your journey on who you bring along. So whatever realm you in, even if you feel as though you're not a leader, someone's always watching you. I just put that out there to the audience. Someone's always watching you and watching your build, and how you build character, how you lead. Or if you feel that you're not a leader, but that characteristic of, you never know, someone might be looking at you just to move, to see how they should move. So I think that's something in parable that we should take in account of as well. So one of the questions, Dr. Jennifer, too, how do you encourage others to push past? And Dr. Mary, you had just said something. Oh, Dr. Mary, yeah. Past perceive the limits. Because you said people can tell you, and you can have all this negative talk in your life. Hey, I've been there too. People never see you amount to anything, or that. How do you perceive and move past that? So, can you give a strategy for that?
Absolutely. When I first launched my company, Reaching From Within is the official name of it, right? Reaching From Within, an empowerment journey. It's about sitting with yourself and realizing that those narratives that's been told to you are narratives by default. And what I mean by that, somebody may have told something negative to that person, and they carry it on and on and on, and they bring that narrative story to you, sort of serving as a force multiplier in a negative way, right? And then what I did when I launched my company 7 years ago, I designed a framework called Vision. And with the vision, if y'all follow me, I'm an acronym girl. And so with that vision, the V is for visualizing where you want your end state to be. And I work with my clients on that. And then the I is for initiating, setting up, and designing what your leadership path or career path, what you want it to be. But you got to see yourself there first in your brain. And then the S is for strategizing. And part of the strategy is making sure, like I said, there's a roadmap that is set up for you to go through it through various stages and phases with short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals as a part of it. So you're building a comprehensive strategic plan for your career and leadership journey. And then the other I is integrating all those pieces. Now, understand this, before we can move forward, because I'm big on overcoming your personal to achieve your professional, because if you don't deal with the personal, it's going to bleed into your professional. And so I recommend those as a certified coach. When I see that, hey, this person needs to go to therapy, I say, hey, you need to go to a therapist for X, Y, and Z. Like, you need to deal with that. I deal with going forward. I deal with asking you the right questions. I deal with serving as your accountability partner. I am not a therapist. And so the O in vision is about opportunities and setting people up for various opportunities, give them visibility, working with them to find the mentors as well as me serving as a mentor. And then the N is the next step in vision. And I tell them to ignite their fire and move forward with their next steps and go. And so that is a whole framework, the vision framework, to help people with their limiting beliefs, to help them go through. It's not a fast process, but we got to get rid of no longer living by default, but living by design.
Good. So I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to go around how my camera is laid out. So, Dr. Teresa, what qualities do you think make a great motivator?
Oh, well, one that I wanted to piggyback on Dr. Jennifer's question, to answer your question first. One that is positive, one that has empathy, one that is an active listener. There's so many qualities of an effective motivator. But I want to really piggyback on what she said, because my business is aligned with what she just said. Mm-hmm. My chapter is called The Art of Transformational Leadership. And transformational leadership is all about, one of the tenets is inspirational motivation. Mm-hmm. And one way you can do that is inspire your staff or your team by having them be part of the vision. They help create the vision. They help create the mission. They decide on what are their common core values. And that's when they make plans about their strategies and activities, their goals and objectives. And you make them so that you support them so that they're able to meet those goals. You understand what I'm saying? So when someone is successful at their work because they've been a part of it, that motivates them to go above what they're doing already. So thank you, Dr. Jennifer, for that vision. I love that.
I love that too. You gotta probably catch the replay of that, because look, I was sitting here like dee. It was like dee. I was like the Bonnie woman here. Dee. There's a plan. I heard it all. That's a plan, the vision, because again, the people, because of lack of vision. So you got to make sure, you're so correct. You got to make sure that when you're having that vision, but I love the part where you talk about the therapy. Yeah. Because if you don't deal with that stuff within, it will show up other ways. So great. Same question for you. What qualities do you think are for motivator, Savannah?
I believe you have to be authentic. People want to be able to relate to you, whether female or male. Authenticity is important in a leader, and being transparent. What I find is, as of lately, I have been motivating young people, young women in particular. And I find that the mindset of these individuals are very, very interesting. So I'm in the midst of trying to motivate and help them to elevate, but it starts with their mind, the way they think, the way they look at things. I try to always take what they see as negative and flip it around to positive, and I think as qualities as a leader, you have to be really, again, authentic and transparent in your leadership. And I really think that impacts others.
Yeah. Same question for you, Mary. Same question for your motivators. So, what do you think?
I love what I've heard from everyone so far. I agree with it. And as you were talking, I could actually see how all those things have impacted me and how I operate with people. And I also think being a good listener is key, because you have to hear what people are saying. I often say, Lord, show me the word behind the words, so that I'll know how to best communicate with them to reach them where they are. I think that, like Savannah just said, being authentic, When you read my chapter, and if you've read any of the things that I've ever written, I always share my experiences because I believe people learn from them. Often people are stuck because they think they're the only ones that went through something. They're the only ones that think like that, or they're the only ones that can push past being limited in how they view themselves or where they see themselves. But when we share, when we're authentic, and we show them examples of, if I could do it, you could do it, and you're not going to have to do it alone, I think they're more open to it. So thank you.
Yes. So that's going to take us into our break right in a moment. And when we come back, we're going to address those challenges and some balance, how we can balance this even in the part of motivation. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. There you have it. So that'll be coming soon. And we're so excited to be a part of this with the visionary, Dr. Jennifer Jones Bryant. And I'm here again. I've been on the other projects too as well with her. Several of you, we've been on some same projects. It's just amazing to see how all of it comes together. But you know, as a motivator, and I'm going to raise my hand, we do have some challenges. And we do often have setbacks. So here's the next question. And I'm going to start with Mary with this one. How do you maintain your own motivation when faced with setbacks? And how do you model that resilience to others?
You know, I have learned how to maintain. It wasn't always easy. And what I really do, first I pray. And then I just think about the things that I've been through, the things that I've overcome, and how it happened. And I also remember that I don't have to do it alone. I seek people to help me along the process, people that I could talk through the situation or whatever, because I think I was born to be a motivator. I know that I was born to be a motivator, and I believe I don't have room to feel sorry for myself. You know, we all go through things, but we have to figure out how to get through them. So I actually I read, I study, and this is crazy, but I oftentimes go to the mirror and talk to myself because I have to remember who I am. The key for me is understanding who God created us to be, and then working from there and recognizing that I don't have all the answers and I don't have everything that I need always, but continually seeking ways to put back in that positivity and wherever I think I'm lacking, because sometimes we get caught up and we get slack and we're not as strong as we used to be. So I just try to make sure that I remember that I'm not alone and just remember who I am created to be.
Great question. Good answer. I mean, I love it. Dr. Teresa, the same for you. The same question for you.
Okay, so I'm a little bit older than most of you guys, so I don't have a whole bunch of setbacks right now. I don't have a whole bunch of challenges because I learned a lot of lessons along the way. However, I can say one of the things that keeps me focused and not having challenges is I plan. Oh my goodness. I plan my week, I plan my month. I have a 12-week plan. I have a 6-month plan. And I always monitor what did I say I was going to do. Every Sunday afternoon, 5 o'clock, football or no football. Okay, did I get this chapter completed? Did I contact this person? Did I get this done? Right? And if I didn't, okay, why didn't I get that done? Oh, I was sick that day. I was going to get that done. So I always keep monitoring my activity. So I don't have any challenges and setbacks because I stay laser focused on the plan.
Hey, that's it. Have that plan. Have that plan. Same question for you, Savannah.
Yes. So another quality of us as leaders is accountability. And we have to continue to keep ourselves accountable and motivate ourselves. And then we can motivate others. So when I come across challenge and a setback, and I see others as well, I would always say, you know what? I'm going to be angry, but I'm going to be angry just for a minute. That's it. Get it. Michelle, no. If I'm upset, I'm gonna cry, but I'm gonna cry just for a minute. I'm gonna pick myself up. I'm gonna keep myself accountable. I'm gonna motivate myself so that I can press on, persevere. That's another point um, of leadership and motivating others. I'm gonna persevere. I'm gonna push through.
Yeah,
That's what I got. Just stay in that setback for just a minute.
that's
That's
it.
it.
That's
Yep.
it. That's it. And that is so true because I can tell you that this last quarter of the year, and Dr. Jennifer
Mhm.
knows that it has been set back for me.
Mhm.
It might not seem what you see, and let me be clear. I am grateful even for the setbacks, but I'm telling you, it has hurt, pushed, pushed me. I mean, you see the acceleration, but that's because of the perseverance, as you use that word, perseverance. Because it hit me from out of nowhere, boom, like, but I still kept the faith. I still keep the faith. I still know that other people are watching me. So I look at this too. If you only saw what goes on behind the scene, you will actually understand my motivation and encourage you even better. Ooh, mm, I feel that one. But if you would understood the cost of some of the stuff that we do as leaders, to put yourself in the position, you will understand why we motivate you as we do. So I same question for you, Dr. Jennifer. Look, I'm going off base on that one, but
No, I felt all of what you were saying, Dr. Michelle. I felt all of that. And similar to their honorable Savannah, I am a filler. And so I do know others are watching, and I do want to show up in the best light. But what I've learned to do is to actually feel, because all my life I've always had to be resilient because I was waiting for the other shoe to drop through so many trauma or traumatic situations. And as a leader of teams, I knew that I had to care for myself first before I can show up for them. And so I go back to like my initial answer of I have my therapist on speed dial. You know what I'm saying? And if I want to cry, I'm gonna cry behind the scenes. I'm gonna cry. Like ain't nobody gonna stop me. Like my mama ain't here to say stop that crying, right? So I'm gonna cry
I'm shedding
because
tears right now.
you're right. Look. Because here's the thing. The thing is that once I cry, once I release, once I process, once I sit still to realize the power of the stillness, I
Mm,
come back stronger. I come back stronger. And the other piece too is that I always create a list of what's real, right? What are facts and what are my perceived thoughts and perceptions? And then I work through those, and I try to do root cause analysis. Yep, I do it on myself, and I'll ask why, like the 5 whys, like why am I feeling like this? Why am I responding that way? Why am I reacting that way? And I allow myself, and sometimes I have to process it fast. And the good thing about knowing yourself, when I was in the corporate setting and in the federal government setting, I would ask for breaks. I was like, I need a break because I need to pull myself together before I can go back out and lead others. And sometimes people don't take the time out for that. Remember, I say you can bleed on other people and it can have severe consequences on others. So it's important in order for you to stand with poise and grace and to be able to have perseverance, you got to take care of yourself first.
good question. Now we're almost getting close to the end, but I tell you what, I actually want to ask this question to you guys. So I'm gonna start with you, Dr. Teresa. For your chapter, what is the hope that you want your readers to take away from that chapter?
As a leader in your organization, you have to have a system and structure in place to train your employees, to build your own capacity, have professional development that's differentiated, because what one person might need or leadership skill another one might already have. So make sure that you have a system and structure in place for people to grow within your organization and support them. Be an active listener, be positive, have empathy, be compassionate, and know what your strengths are. Write a list. What are my strengths? What are my areas of growth as a leader? And then work on yourself as well as working with your team.
Good. Same question for you, Savannah.
Well, as I had mentioned in the beginning, for me, I had to really embrace the fact that I have called to be a leader. The honorable, so obviously I am a community leader. So I am in front of the community all day, every day. Everybody's watching, and the community around me does not look like me. So I want the readers to walk away knowing my story, because I do share my leadership story, and just be inspired by that. But first, understanding that you have to embrace your journey first. And then once you can do that and continue to, build your confidence and stay transparent and keep yourself accountable, I try to share some tips on how to just be successful in your leadership. And then just walk away just feeling motivated and inspired by my story.
Same question for you, Mary.
First of all, I want to say I'm sitting over here saying I can't wait to read the book. I'm all excited about what's in the book because there's some relatable things that have been said here today. But what I want people to take away from my chapter and from the book is that that they were created to be great. They may not lead in every situation, but there are situations in which they can lead. And despite the things that they've been through and the things that they might still go through, they have greatness inside. And the other thing I want people to walk away with, there are times when you have to step back and pause and do some self-reflection, some introspection. And I call it the Popeye the Sailor Man concept, where Popeye had to step back and put some food in that pipe because he needed to be strengthened. There are times when we have to do that. So thank you for this opportunity. I really, really can't wait to read y'all's chapters.
So, one of the things that I wrote about, I share my experiences, and I just want the audience or whoever picks up the book to read that even as you being a motivator, it's all about your service. So when you're a service, that's what I want you to take away for, even though you may elevate to others, but you also look at it as a service. It's a due diligence of a service that while you're motivating others. And that's the reflecting of it, because you're motivate that because it's a reflection off of you. Then that next person go and do the same thing. So it's like you're multiplying the character of building on the part of being a motivator. So you look at it as being a motivated machine. So my motivated machine, those characteristics is what had helped motivate others. And they'll come back and share the story because, again, they will say, this is how I got into this place because this person has motivated me. And that's what fueled my fire more, to say that I've helped someone else along. So it's, that's the best part for me. Now for Jennifer, Dr. Jennifer, I want to say to you, then this is how we're going to end. What is the first action step that the person who takes this book, that you want them to take after finishing the book? Now you're hearing it from the visionary yourself. This is the first step of action that you need to take once you get finished reading this book.
I want people to take this book, because I've read the stories, right? And I've read them a couple of times. I'm going to read them one more time, is to know that, and I think Mary may have said it, that they can see themselves in this book. And then I want them to write, what step do they plan to take based on the strategies and tips and tools that have been provided, resources that have been provided in the book. So there's going to be homework that's coming from this book. If anybody who knows me, and Dr. Teresa can appreciate this, I'm an educator in a way, right? While I may not have been an administrator or anything of the sorts, I, throughout my career in life, have educated. So I'm hoping that this book will serve as a tool for that. And here's the other piece, Dr. Michelle, is that the book itself is part of my Step into Leadership Greatness Foundation, Inc., that I had launched this year. And proceeds from the book will be going to the foundation. I've already donated some of the proceeds already. And the book proceeds will then go to first generation leaders. And the scholarships will be in the name of my mom, Queen Esther Baxter. And she had a fifth grade education, but she had very high emotional intelligence. And she encouraged me to go for my goals and achieve them and complete my education to the highest degree. So it's going to be in her honor. So this book is serving as a force multiplier to help our first generation college students who are pursuing leadership roles. So this book means a lot, whether people recognize this is not like your typical anthology. It's going to serve for leaders in the corporate setting, in the federal government setting, just all across all industries, because I have some amazing industry experts in this book. So it's good. People gonna have some homework, Michelle.
I believe it. I believe it. I'm ready for the homework. Because again, Dr. Teresa, Honorable Savannah, Mary, Dr. Jen, there's all so much of the pieces that we all can gather together. And because, you know, there may be something that I'm missing, but I know that I'm glad that I have the structure of the sisters behind me and the generation of these leaders that's in this book that I can be called on to, and then they also can hold me accountable when, you know, things can go. So that's why we're in this, not just as a book, being in a book. This is actually a resource. So resources for each one of us. So again, ladies, I want to say thank you so much for coming today, sharing, you know, just you. A lot of time people don't get the flowers, but I'm giving you flowers today because each one of you means something very special to me. I know we don't get to see each other all the time, but when we do, oh my. But I want to say thank you so much for coming on Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. And again, you know that anytime you have something, any way I can support it, I will. So any last words? Each one of you want to say any last words? I can go around. Dr. Jennifer, I'll leave you for last. But Dr. Teresa, is there something that you want to say before we end?
Yes. Anytime I have a platform, I always lead with this. Life is but a short road to our ultimate destiny. Make peace, have compassion, and learn to love before you get there.
Wow. Wow. The Honorable Savannah.
I'm just so honored to be a part of this anthology, and the title is absolutely perfect. This, you know, I'm in my journey of stepping into leadership greatness. So just happy to be a part.
And Mary.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, everyone, take advantage of what you have in the inside of you and the resources are around you. And I see this anthology being helpful to every possible industry. Our church just finished leadership training teaching for 2 months. I can't wait to get this book because they got homework.
Hey, Dr. Jennifer, for you.
I will say that always remember, leaders, that people are at the beginning, middle, and end of every process and decision. Once you invest in them, they will go above and beyond for the mission.
All right, everyone. So, you know what I always leave out the show with, you know, love is a center for everything, right? So if you don't feel that you're loved, just know that you are loved here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Bowden Hammond, and we will see you next week.